Entering Saturday, the odds were against Oklahoma to pull off a road win. It's a long trip from Norman to Morgantown. You're facing a team that will just pressure the smithereens out of you. Mountaineers are in the top 10, and rarely do they lose at home. They've only lost at home one time all year, and that was to Texas. So entering Saturday, there wasn't a whole lot of reason for the Sooners, who had lost 3 of their last 4 games, to be optimistic about a win. But they got the win, and they played a very strong second half for the most part, and I really liked what I saw from the Sooners in terms of rebounding and block shot presence. It was a marvelous game by Kadeem Lattin. We'll talk about him in a second. And a game that they really had to have because, like I said, they lost 3 of their last 4. Momentum had slipped away, and they needed to reestablish it heading down the home stretch of the Big 12. There's still 4 games to go after Saturday. So for the Sooners, the second half was pivotal. 48 points in that half. And it didn't always come easy because, the Sooners, after a slim lead at halftime, beginning of the second half, West Virginia came out on fire. I think they had like 11 or 12 early on in the first 3 minutes. Had the lead, had the crowd at a fever pitch, but OU regathered themselves. I think, to me, what stuck out about this game, besides the fact that the Sooners were so good as far as the paint, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but also, too, they took care of the ball so well. West Virginia, they're called Press Virginia because they're one of the best teams in the country in forcing turnovers. Okay, they force 18 turnovers a game. The Sooners, only single digits in turnovers on Saturday against the Mountaineers, 9. You can do that against West Virginia on the road. You've done a heck of a job. So as far as ball handling, outstanding job by Lon Kruger's squad. It was pivotal that they take care of the basketball and not create those easy transition points. And the Sooners were able to get a 9-point lead halfway through the second half. You knew West Virginia was going to rally, and they rallied, thanks in part to that Ryan Spangler technical foul. He played a good game, but he's got to learn, not to talk trash. Referee saw that right in front of him, popped him with the tee, and that would spark a 9-0 run by the Mountaineers. The Sooners were playing way too much one-on-one. At the same time, West Virginia on the other side was getting momentum, and they tied the game up just like that with under 8 to go. So what does OU do after giving up a 9-0 run? Came back with a 9-0 run of their own, and Spangler was instrumental. Got a couple of free throws to begin the run, and then you saw the Sooners start to establish a run. Okay, you saw Buddy Hield, 3 of his 29 points, a 3-pointer, pivotal right there. That was big. Denzel Walker, a 3 during that stretch. And West Virginia, after trailing by 9, would do everything they could to try to get back into the game, but the closest they could get was 4 points. And unlike the Texas Tech game on Wednesday night where the Sooners could not hold on to that lead down the stretch, this time OU would not only hold on to the lead, but they would increase it. An Isaiah Cousins 3 in the final minutes would put the thing on ice. And with about a minute to go, you saw the Mountaineer fans exit the arena. So, big win by the Sooners. Out-rebounding the Mountaineers 48-37. 9 block shots. Kadeem Lattin was clutch in this game. Lattin plays like that all the time. The Sooners are going to be a very difficult team to beat. 9 points, 6 blocks, 13 rebounds. Offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, of course, he was instrumental. Ryan Spangler thought he had a heck of a game, even though he only took 3 shots. But, hey, he made all 3 for 6 points, and he also had 6 boards. And Isaiah Cousins, you don't think of him as a rebounder? Well, how about his performance? 8 rebounds to go with 12 points. And we mentioned Buddy Hield, a 29-point performance, 5 3-pointers. Jordan Woodard, maybe not much as far as points, but he had 6 assists. Team basketball, and OU said it after the game. It was fun throughout the game. They treated it like fun, and they played like fun, and they played with a lot more looseness, and they weren't tight, and they played better basketball. They treated it like fun, and it ended up being a team effort that resulted into execution. A big win and a difficult place to win in Morgantown. So the Sooners, with the win, advanced to 21-5, 9-5 in league play. West Virginia in a losing effort. Jason Page, he had 13 points, got 11 of his 13 in the second half. He was good for the Mountaineers, and Tarik Phillip had 17 for West Virginia. By the way, both Page and Phillip, they're bench players for the Mountaineers, but we know West Virginia, they go 10 deep, because of the style of ball they play. They play, pressure D. They'll pressure you 40% of the time, more than anybody in all of college basketball. So West Virginia, who at one point was in sole possession of first place in the Big 12, now they slip in a tie for second with the Sooners and Baylor. We'll talk about Baylor in a second, but the Sooners, big time win, 4 games to go, 9-5 in Big 12 play. And again, hats off to the Sooners, because I'm telling you, after that Texas Tech game, I felt sunk for those guys, because you're thinking, how can they possibly win at a team that specializes in defense? Shooting-wise, it still was not a great performance, but they gave themselves second opportunities, and they got the clutch shots when they needed to the most to shoot a little above 40%, but they ended up with 48 points for the second half. So offensively, there was improvement, but the rebounding I really, really liked, and they'll need that because later on in the year, they got to play Baylor again, and Baylor, of course, specializes in inside play. Baylor with a big win, by the way, at Texas on Saturday. And did you notice something, too? 4 of the 5 games in the Big 12 on Saturday, the road team won. Texas Tech winning at Oklahoma State, Kansas winning at Kansas State, of course, OU and Baylor winning. Iowa State was the only home team that won, beating TCU. So for the Sooners, see if they can keep the ball rolling. They'll host Oklahoma State, who not only is having a terrible season and is near the bottom of the Big 12 standings, and their coach Travis Ford's in the hot seat. Oklahoma State also comes in injury riddled as well. They're banged up. So even though it's Bedlam, and I know anything can happen in Bedlam, it's in Norman on Wednesday, on Wednesday the 24th. I see no reason why the Sooners should not be able to build upon Saturday's win against, in Morgantown and handle Oklahoma State. They should be able to defeat a Cowboy team that's not healthy and right now hasn't won much these days. Again, rebounding, that's been the key, as we saw on Saturday. And when West Virginia made runs, Oklahoma came right back. So great job by Oklahoma protecting the ball, also too establishing the paint. And Buddy Hield, give West Virginia credit for guarding him tough. He had to earn all 29 of those points, but he showed why he is still the favorite to win National Player of the Year. Great job by the Sooners. I don't know if they can catch Kansas for the Big 12 championship. That's really a long shot, down 2 games with only 4 to go. It's a long shot. I think for the Sooners, though, they could still finish in second, maybe pull off the Big 12 tournament. Who knows? And, of course, the NCAA tournament, that's the big prize, give themselves a pretty high seed. And, of course, the big thing, play those first 2 games in Oklahoma City at Chesapeake. That's one of the sub-regional sites. That's the big goal, so that way you're playing close to home that opening weekend of March Madness. Great win by the Sooners, a game that they had to have, and they got it. Boomer Sooner.